What's up, Planeswalkers? 36 back with some more Magic the Gathering Arena, and so I do practice games before I end up playing, and that's with the same, like, even if I'm just playing a deck that I've had for a while, I do practice games, and I just had the longest practice game against freaking Mono Blue Tempo, and I'm so sick of the crap. Anyway, I would get a few administrative things out of the way first. For those of you who may not have actually clicked on yesterday's video was about the Rakdos Burn deck, and I understand a lot of people don't want to see it, but I also know that if you don't want to see it, you wouldn't have clicked on it to begin with. But in the comment section of that video, I asked people if they want to see it added to the rotation. Now, if you didn't end up watching it and looking in the comment section, you wouldn't have seen that poll and you wouldn't have voted no. But I want to make sure everyone knows that that poll is there, even the people who wouldn't, technically, especially the people who don't want to see it. Right now, it's looking like it's going to be added. So if you don't want to see that, don't dislike the Rakdos video. I mean, I guess you can. I would appreciate it if you didn't. Go back and look into the pinned comment and thumbs up the no, I don't want to see this in the rotation. So anyway, that's just some administrative stuff. We're getting to a different version of the Abzan midrange deck. For those of you who need some reminding, this is what the other deck looked like. A little bit more green-black graveyardy type thing. This one is focusing, actually, it technically uses a little bit more white because we're running Militia Bugler. Holy crap, I can speak. I'm having a great day. Militia Bugler is cool because it hits, I believe, every single creature in the main deck. Yeah, it hits every single creature, including our top end with Izoni's and Tristani's. So what we're essentially doing is we're running a slight ramp package in the fact that we're running Llanowar Elves, we're running 5 really nice Planeswalkers, and all of our creatures do something, as long as, of course, our opponent does not have that Tocatli Honor Guard or whatever. But we're running some Llanowar Elves for a little bit of ramp. We are running 1 Seekers Squire and 4 Branchwalkers. I have Wildgrowth Walkers in the sideboard, and I realized I didn't actually have a lot of Explore creatures, so I decided to add another Squire to both the main deck and the sideboard to make that a little bit more consistent. I'm not sure if I want to keep the Explore package in the deck, with Wildgrowth Walkers coming in against, against like aggro decks. I might end up doing something else, and if I do that, Seekers Squire is going to go away, because I do prefer Thorn Lieutenant, and Thorn Lieutenant, as I've talked about previously, is just a really strong card. Assassin's Trophy only at 2. We really rely more heavily on our Chupacabras as well as our Planeswalkers to answer our opponent's annoying problems. Militia Bugler, as I said, can hit any creature in our deck. I'm briefly going over these cards just because I've done a DeckTech for Abzan, I think, a couple times at this point. But Jadelight Ranger, really good value. Knight of Autumn, we have a bunch of choices. Ravenous Chupacabra, it gets caught by Militia Bugler, and it's great when you go turn 1 Elves into turn 2 Bugler into turn 3 Chupacabra. It feels so good. Hey, Chupacabra can hit like anything. Vraska's Contempt gets rid of pesky Planeswalkers. Golgari Queen allows us to sacrifice our Llanowar Elves or like our early Explore creatures if they didn't hit a non-land, because then they're like meek and I don't need them. Or it gets rid of some stuff. Tristani is actually relatively helpful for that exact reason. It makes our weaker creatures a little bit stronger, and it might not seem like a lot, but it is at minimum coming in with like 2, 4, 5 power and a decent amount of toughness for 5, so it's definitely worth running. I don't know if I want to run more or not, because then like I feel like I might be stretching the deck in too many directions, but we're running Vivien Reid because Vivien Reid is actually a lot stronger than I initially expected. We're running 2 Find Finalities because this is not as much of a graveyard deck. We do kind of just want to outvalue our opponent. That said, sometimes we do need a little bit extra help with the value. I found actually Finality is what I cast a lot because I just want to wipe the board with a couple Planeswalkers out. So 1 Izoni because stuff does die and we do have a large amount of creatures here, to 26. And then, of course, Vraska Relic Seeker, because she is the biggest, baddest boss of all time. This is our weird, like, mana situation. We're going with the Mark Pool basics because I want to. I think I might want to... Actually, no, I'm going to do this now. I'm going to add in another chapel. I did not realize I only had 2. That's fine. And I'm actually going to take out a single Sunpetal Grove. I've been finding my black mana is a little bit down, so that's why we're going with this. And it's fine. That transitions us nicely into the sideboard. 3 Duresses against those pesky control decks. Seekers Squire as well as Wildgrowth Walker to come in against those aggro decks where I need to gain a bit more life. and have some more nice early plays. Sorcerous Spyglass against those Planeswalkers, Golden Demise again against those aggro decks. Even if I don't have the City's Blessing here, I'm fine wiping the board. Against the Mono Blue Tempo deck, for example, I attacked and then I wiped the board. And I was fine with that because I was able to next turn Planeswalker and just control the game from there. Even though I lost, I think 3 or 4 creatures in that. It's just very helpful to get rid of some creatures. Profane Procession, this is essentially against the mid-range decks, especially Golgari mid-range. You're often going to be at a point super late game where neither of you are really doing too much, and you just want to be able to exile their stuff and steal their value, essentially. Lyra Dawnbringer. She's great against the red decks, the aggro decks, essentially, and that's why I'm not entirely sure I want to keep Wildgrowth Walker and Seekers Squire in, because she is just a very strong powerhouse. You're going to want to bring her in against non-black decks, just because Chupacabra is so prevalent. And then Carnage Tyrant, because control can bite a shiny green dinosaur. Now, we're going to do some best of 3 games. I would like to get at least 2 matches in. My opponent that I was doing during practice, I tried to do like 4 or 5 practice games. That was, I think, like my second, and it just took forever because my opponent just they never had like any bonus time on their timer, right? It was always at 0, like extra timeouts, and they always took the entire time, but they never had like any decisions to make. And it was just so slow. Going against Senshi. This is like a weird, like really weird hand because of how slow it is. But I do have some Llanowar Elves. I'll keep it. I can't wait till this deck gets Godless Shrine. Just having all 3 of the shock lens just makes the deck a little bit more consistent. Red. Uh-oh. Yep. Going up against red. Knight of Autumn is almost certainly going to be gaining us some life here. Do I want to shock myself to play the second elf? 1, 2, 3, 4. Next turn I'd be on 5 mana? I don't really have a reason to be on 5 mana next turn, whereas I could just 4 mana next turn, or if they end up killing my Llanowar Elves, then I can just Knight of Autumn. I think I don't want to shock myself. Could be wrong. It's possible I should have played the additional elf, but I think I'm fine here. Steamkin like needs to die. I'm not blocking, so I'm going to Chupacabra that. So I'm glad they didn't kill my elf. Now I can Chupacabra this here. I just don't want that running away with the game. I would like to actually save Knight of Autumn for a coffee. That might be bad. Alright, Lava Coil, that's fine. I was thinking a Chain Whirler. I can remember the names of cards. I assume they just attack with both, yep. Luckily, not under too much pressure here, and opponent really is down on cards. I think I'm gonna Thorn Lieutenant. Do I Thorn Lieutenant Elf? Or do I Elf Knight of Autumn? I have 2 Knight of Autumns now. The thing is, I don't want to have like a really terrible board against Chain Whirler. I think I do Elf. I don't really want a terrible board against Chain Whirler. I could Knight and make him larger. It also like allows me to block, so I guess I'll do that. I'll Knight and make it larger. So if they land Coffee here, it's not too bad because I have another Knight. They might think it's safe. They could just kill my Knight. Oh, Chain Whirler into Shock. That's what it looked like. Nope. Cool. We did lose a lot of our stuff here, which is unfortunate, but it's fine. Not able to play Vraska. We only have 23 lands in the deck. Which it's really awkward because I flood like half the time, and I like am screwed some of the time. Because of the way the Explore creatures work, it often is like a feast or famine thing, and that is kind of bad. For that reason, it's possible I should start moving away from the The explore creatures and move more towards... this is interesting. I guess I'll play this as a 4-3. I'm not entirely sure. And I maybe should start moving towards the district guides. I'm just not sure. District guides of note do still get found with Militia Bugler. Not going to attack yet. I do need this Relic Seeker at some point. My opponent is on 1 card left. They could coffee now. They've seen 2 Knight of Autumns. I believe this is the last one in the deck. I think it's a terrible idea to double block Chain Whirler. Is that true? Is it a terrible idea to double block Chain Whirler? I think it is. If my opponent wants to kill that, I'm gaining stuff. So I'm fine with this exchange here. Izoni is good, but can't really do much about that. I'm going to go ahead and keep the Elf Warrior back. Opponent is down to 1 card. Looks like it is a Burn Steel. Yep. On my face, so I think I'm going to Knight of Autumn. Of course I'm going to Knight of Autumn to gain life, and then my opponent's going to play Coffee, and I'm going to be super sad, but that life gain is helpful. Nope, Chain Whirler. So Chain Whirler gets to kill some of my stuff. Yeah, that's kind of bad. I need mana. Well, that is technically mana. No attacks here. I need to not die. Shouldn't have shown me that land. Shouldn't attack with Lava Runner, I don't think. I'll block here. I should absolutely chump, I think. I could have doubled up. I would have gone like a lot lower, and I just don't respect that at all. Well, I got lands. So Izoni next turn is very helpful. I can just chump both of these. Yeah, chump both of these. Izoni next turn for a ton. My opponent already has 2 Chain Whirlers. They've already gone through 2. It's unlikely they're going to save the 3rd. So they would have to top deck it. Yeah, so I mean, I chump here. My opponent, if they have like a shock, they can shock my Jadelight. And that would allow them to, deal some additional damage here. See what they end up doing. Opponent, deep in the tank here. I assume they just drew another land. They might just be roping me, but this is a best of 3 game. So, if you're roping me to make me feel bad, it's not going to work. It's just going to make me mildly annoyed. I saw that Saffron Olive. Oh, excuse me. Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive. This wasn't super recent, I know, but I'm behind. He posted a video about the 5th card problem, and I didn't realize how bad it was, especially for creators like myself. Just because I didn't pay attention to that stuff as much. I'm just like, I just want to play decks and have fun. But yeah, it's not cool. They should fix that faster than I expected. So, if my opponent kept a Chain Whirler here, I'm gonna be actually upset, because there's no reason for them to have done that. Shock my face, sure. I potentially... Alright, cool. Easy chumps. Easiest chumps in my life. And next turn, I can hold up and just gain a bunch of life. If I want to, I could even Memorial to Folly to get stuff back. Do I want to do that? No, I think it is actually just better to attack here with you, and no, I need to hold 3 back just in case 1 gets killed. There we go. Damages, because we do need to still kill them, right? We can't hold everything back. If our opponent Chain Whirlers, we can eat 3 of them. So we can eat 3 of them, We only go up to 7. I guess we could kill... Yeah, so if they cast another Chain Whirler, we can Assassin's Trophy 1, eat some of our own guys, and we would survive. I don't know if we would win, though. Izoni is dying. I'm fine with that, I think. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm going to eat one of these. And then just buy her back. Look at all these Planeswalkers. And just cast her again next turn. I guess I could Assassin's Trophy the other one. Nah, I can't do it and get back Izoni, so do this. I guess I could just establish Vraska here. I'm on 5. The thing is, I don't like being at 5. So we're just going to go ahead and get this back. Thank you. So I could... No, Vraska would be 6. Yeah, no. So I'm just going to Izoni. I do technically think this is the fastest way to victory. And if they do have exactly Chain Whirler, I still have Izoni to chump and be down to 2. Don't know if I'd be able to get out of that situation. Yeah, I mean, they struck Izoni. Oh, yeah, alright. That should be game, then. Not match, just game. My opponent shouldn't concede. I don't know if that bug has been fixed. But I do know that there has been a bug. Yeah, cool. Damage. Do. Please. Why have you done this to me? Oh, there's something to talk about as I wait for my opponent to stop wasting my time. Our time. I was recently... There we go. I hope that wasn't there for a long time, because then it makes me look like a bad person. Someone recently commented asking about Pauper and why I'm not playing it. They didn't like single me out. Essentially, it was just like, why isn't anyone playing it? And the reason is like the game mode isn't great in terms of the like risk to reward. Like what you put into it, you don't really get great stuff out. Give me a second while I figure out what I'm doing here. Thorn Lieutenant is good, but I actually think Finality is kind of just slow. I actually think I want to put Thorn Lieutenant back. And maybe drop off Assassin's Trophy? Well, no, Trophy gets rid of Coffee. I don't know if they're playing Coffee, but I don't want to deal with that. So, I guess this is fine. I still have... Yeah, I have Lyra to, like, end the game. I just had to make sure I had, like, an actual, like, big win condition that my opponent couldn't really deal with. There's an argument to bring in Duress. I don't think I should, at least on the draw. So, but yeah, essentially it was like, if it was just like a game mode where you could just play it for free. So what I suggested was, it should be a game mode where it's free to play best of 1. I'll keep this, and it's just like a game mode, right? You just go in, best of 1, you play it, you have fun, whatever. But if you want to play Pauper, like, competitively, you offer a best of 3, which I think Pauper right now is only best of 1. So, like, there's no way you can even play Pauper best of 3, like, even if you wanted to. And you have a sideboard, you have best of 3 Pauper, and you have, a buy-in and reward structure. Ooh, that is not good for my opponent. They could kill my stuff, but I get value. So this is the type of thing I'm talking about. I could just, like, feast on all of these lands. Like, I could just land with this, land with this, land with this, and then I'm looking at a ton of lands, and not whole hell of a lot else. Yeah, I feel like that's such a better way to do these casual events, right? I'm fine keeping that on top. I like the idea of killing stuff. Yeah, it boggles my mind that, like, they want this competitive mode, or sorry, this casual mode. Like, it's not even like normal Pauper, right? Like, it's 1000% casual because it's standard Pauper. Hell yeah, dude. Bugler? I'll Bugler it up. So you have this mode that's, like, meant to be casual, but it's not a great reward system, in my opinion. This is just my opinion, for casual players. It's fine. It's not, like, a price gouging, like, nonsense. Which is just not, like, it's just not good. I'll attack. But if you offered free, just, like, best of one, and then if for the people who want to make Pauper, like, actual competitive, for the people who want to see it be, you know, quite frankly, interesting, and, like, develop a meta and have nice counterplays and things like that, you could have that in a best of 3 mode that requires entry. I think that'd be a good solution to it. Additionally, it's standard Pauper, not normal Pauper, so I don't even remotely care. I don't want to play with just, like, a bunch of commons. As a mid-range player, a lot of the styles of deck I like essentially are just, like, a bunch of rare cards. I'm like that guy who's just like, oh yeah, I just want to play a bunch of rares, you know? That's actually why I stopped playing standard initially. Oh, I got Izoni, that's nice. It was essentially just like, I looked down at my like, I looked at my playmat, and I saw just like, dude, heck yeah, man. Literally, like, all my lands were rares. I think I had a couple basics, and then, like, everything in my graveyard, rares or mythics. Everything in my field, rares or mythics. And I was just like, oh, this is awkward. I spent a lot of money playing standard. And then I got out of standard and started playing modern, and that barely cost me anything, because I just have a deck, and it barely changes when new sets come out, and it's awesome. I am going to attack with my non-bugler people. Oh, that's first strike. Oh, I'm stupid. I should have killed that. That's fine. I'm just gonna Vraska's Contempt it anyway. I made a mistake. I apologize. I mean, there's a bunch of different things I could have done here. Do I care? Do I really care about Merfolk Branchwalker dying? I could just play double Jadelight Ranger. I could play a single Jadelight Ranger. Nah, I'll kill it. That was a dumb on my part. My opponent slipped up so much. I'm not super worried about it. Steamkin, so now they have 3 more lands. Like, what are they gonna do with that mana, though? They didn't attack, which I'm a little surprised by. I guess they didn't want me to block, because I would have absolutely blocked, knowing that they wouldn't be able to adequately use that mana. And Wizard's Lightning, I assume? No, just Firebrand. Firebrand, I think, is reasonable. So, yeah, you know, I made mistakes. Shut up. Don't judge me. Or do, I don't care. I'd love one of my Wildgrowth Walkers, please. Thank you. Not a Wildgrowth Walker. Let's see what I get here. The thing is, even if I lose this game, I won the first one. So I can just play another one. Please. Thank you. That's a graveyard for you. Is there anything I want to get out of here? I could get Bugler. Bugler. Do I want to throw in my things? Actually, you know what? I don't. If you want to attack me with your Steamkins, I'm going to kill your nonsense. I'm also going to make this large. I don't think I need the life. I'm still at 18. I could totally regret that. My opponent is going to be able to get a lot of mana with their Steamkins here. It's possible I shouldn't have done that just because of coffee. But, cool. Ooh. That's pretty good. My creatures are swole now. Hello. I want to kill things. I'm going to attack with this. I think I'm just going to attack with that. The problem is Tristani is almost certainly dead here, right? Like, they hit Tristani, and then they Fanatical Firebrand it. I think I'm just going to attack with this one. Because I can't really expect Tristani to live. I don't want to throw away more creatures. So I assume they're going to sack this and hit Tristani. I could be super wrong. I'm just assuming that they have 3 damage spell. I think you kind of have to. Huh. Alright then. Not what I expected. And the thing about this is, since they didn't have a kill on Tristani, we should just have the game here. Even if they kill Tristani this turn, I'm not sure they can respond to the rest of my field sufficiently. And even if, like, my entire field somehow dies, I Izoni. I understood it in the other deck. This has not given me any indication that my opponent should be running this card. I came across a treasure map burn deck that used, like, Fight with Fire and other Burninator type spells. I'm just going to attack with everyone here. Except Tristani, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine with me. Because Izoni's a lot easier to cast against a mono red deck when you know your creatures are likely going to live against Chain Roller. No. Now we just wait to make sure my opponent takes as much time as possible. Interesting block decision there. Alright, interesting. Cool. That's a card I didn't know was a card. Let us play another game. I would love for it not to be the same matchup. Ken X Jr. with the Jaya. Still, I've not let go of the inability to play Nicol Bolas. That is still an outrage, in my opinion. This is actually not a great hand, just because it's Isolated Chapel and not Cough Cough Sunpetal Grove. But I'm still going to keep it because I do have turn 1 Llanowar Elf. So if I draw an untapped land, I can play a Militia Bugler, and that feels really nice. Uh-oh. Bye, Llanowar Elf. Yep. Oh, I can't wait to lose this game because of that. I mean, it's possible you mulligan there, but, like, it's 2 lands and a Accelerant. Opponent almost certainly has Counterspell here. I'm thinking, like, it could be Syncopate, which is making me think I should actually just, like, play the Temple Garden untapped. I'm not sure this shock. There's so many different decks this could be. Did I just say discs? I don't know. Man. There's so many different types of counterspells. I'm going to pay 2 life, and I'm going to play Thorn Lieutenant. I'm essentially just playing around Syncopate. Obviously, it could be Essence Scatter, but nope. All right. Could have just chosen to fake out. But the reason I play Thorn Lieutenant first, besides just the fact that I can play around Syncopate, is if they do have a Lightning Strike to answer it, I'm still going to have some sort of attacking value here. So I do need a bit more mana. I'd like to get up to Vivien Reid, so I can kill their Crackling Drakes. Tormenting Voice. Creature control gain trample. I don't know what exactly this deck is. I'm sure someone is just like, it's this deck, and I'm like, I have no idea. Let's see what I can get. Night of Autumn in 3 lands. A little disappointed in myself. Additional cost kit. Discard. Creature you control. I guess this is wizards? Beacon Bolt. It's like control wizards or something? I had no idea. I mean, I'm going to Night of Autumn and make it large. Just keep forcing my opponent to answer things. I would like to draw some cards, please. There's some lands. I threw them away with Bugler. What a fool I was. My opponent could, like, Niv Mizzet next turn. That'd be very bad. Do we bring in Carnage Tyrant here? Probably. I mean, Carnage Tyrant's still, like, a good card, even if this isn't, like, stereotypical control. I assume my opponent's going to kill my Night of Autumn. Yeah. Guard of a mountain to do so. Can I get a land, please? Hallelujah, that's not a land. I'm getting sick of this shit. Oh no, Google DeepMind. They're going to come to get me. Do you have a counterspell? I mean, my opponent is down to 4 cards and down to 12 life. Shock? Nope, no shock. Lightning Strike? No, radical idea. I am just completely unsure what my opponent's playing. I assume it's like Niv Mizzet. Right? Is it Niv? That's Crackling Drake. It's close. If I draw a swamp, I can Vraska Contempted. Wasn't a swamp, but it was a land, so I do appreciate that. I'm pretty sure I still attack with this. If my opponent blocks, I'm fine here. Are you going to play Dive Down on me? No. Okay. I'm fine with that. Technically, I didn't trade 1 for 1 because they did get to draw a card, but... Yep, sure. I would like 1 more untapped land, please. Okay. Sure, I guess that's fine. I need you to not have a negate. I need you to not have a counterspell, and I need to draw a land. It's trample, not haste. Okay. Well, sure. So this is probably going to give me a land. You gonna shock it? That's fine. Don't technically care about the creature, I just care about getting the land. And land I got. I actually think it's correct to Memorial to Folly because that definitely comes in tapped. Okay, I need to not die here. I still want my opponent to, like, tap out for a Niv Mizzet, I think. Well, no, because if they do that, then I'm just like, I spend my turn Vivien Reid killing it. And then I just die? Alright, this is very bad. I actually don't think I'm going to show my opponent anything else. I don't think I can get out of this. No, because if I kill 1... I could do nothing, so I'm not going to show my opponent anything. Let me just double check. I can kill 1, die. Contempt. Contempt technically keeps me alive, but technically is not good enough. So I don't want to show my opponent, like, any information here. I'm definitely bringing in Lyra. I don't actually think my opponent had very many counterspells. They might now, obviously, but I think I'm not sure about Duress. Pretty sure we bring that in. Pretty sure we bring that in. Kind of not sure about Wildgrowth Walker. I know in some situations, like, I've heard that it's really good against this style of deck, just because it gets really annoying to deal with really fast. Duress I'm not sure about, because of so many jumpstart cards, and I can't hit Crackling Drakes with it. Yeah, really not sure. Vraska's not actually that great in this scenario. Now there's Izoni. Vraska's still fine. Tristani's less good. I kind of just want to make sure my high end is, like, the best it can be. Carnage Tyrant might not actually be that great. Find Finality. Finality technically does deal with the things. Do I want to bring in Wildgrowth Walkers? I don't think so. I don't think so. I could be wrong. Hope I'm not. Alright, let's see how this goes. I believe in myself, and that's what really matters. I believe in the power of Abzan. That is a bad hand, though. Is this fine, I guess? Yeah, that's fine. So we're going to get out a turn 2 Thorn Lieutenant, which is helpful. As long as we, you know, keep drawing lands, then we should theoretically be able to get to our nice, you know, Chupacabra on curve, Carnage Tyrant on curve eventually. So Thorn Lieutenant is really nice. It's annoying for our opponent to deal with, as I've said 1,000 times. All right, I still have something, right? That's what I love about it. Is it's just still annoying for my opponent to have to deal with, and we're likely going to be able to Chupacabra them. Well, not on curve, unless I play Electromancer here, which they might. Then I'm not gonna. Oh, you're just making everything so good for me. Right, so I have a Chupacabra target, which is very nice. Oh, and another backup Chupacabra for when they inevitably play Cackling Drake. Crackling Drake. Holy crap! I always say cackling. It is not a Drake that's laughing. I assume they're gonna kill my Chupacabra, which is fine. Yep. Sure. I got a 2-for-1 with my Chupacabra. Very helpful. So essentially I got like a 2-for-1 with Thorn Lieutenant, and I got 2-for-1 with Chupacabra. Another Electromancer. So they could counter this Chupacabra, but I guess that's fine. So yeah, I didn't see counters the first time, and it looks like I'm not going to see a counter again. They did keep it on top, so whatever it is, they want to keep it. But my opponent is really low on cards, and there's no single red counter spell in Standard. You're not going to freaking Pyroblast me. Could shock it. Yep, they're shocking it. I do not mind. Once another 2-for-1. You know, I'm sitting fairly pretty here. I have a nice Vraska Contempt to deal with any pesky creatures. One more land, I just Carnage Tyrant, and my opponent has a hell of a time dealing with it. Ideal, sure. Charter Curse, sure. Give me an untapped land so I can play this Carnage Tyrant. That's rude, but I'll take it. So they could land like a Mizzet here, which would be unfortunate. Electromancer, sure. Will I Contempt that? I don't know. I don't love the idea. They get like value. But I think I'll just rather save the Contempt. Vivien Reid is actually super helpful. Because if they do end up tapping out for a Niv, I can cast Vivien and kill her. Kill it. Kill the Niv, whatever, I don't care. I'll pass a turn here. No reason to attack my 1/1 in. But this is a nice situation for me. Opponent, you know, has some resources again. But I have a Carnage Tyrant. So, bah humbug. And nice Beacon Bolts. I'm going to do a lot against my Carnage Tyrant. You loser. Ooh, a radical idea. I don't care. I have a Carnage Tyrant. Yeah, opponent digging for something. But I'm gonna do great against a Carnage Tyrant. Nom nom chomp chomp. This deck is weird. Does it have the Phoenixes? Does this deck have Phoenixes? Are you looking for Phoenixes? I don't understand. Nice combo deck. You cast like a ton of spells this turn. I don't understand what's happened. My opponent is also tapped out. I could cast Lyra, but like, what's the point? They could just Beacon Bolt it. And I'd rather just cast Vivien. And plus, yeah, I don't think my opponent can kill my Vivien that easily. So we'll go ahead and plus. See what we get here. Let's take a Jadelight Ranger. And even if somehow they kill Carnage Tyrant, if we get another land, over the course of 2 turns, we can Folly it back, and then cast it again. I'll block? Sure. Okay, did that for a charter course. That makes sense. I have a way to kill a flying blocker on the board. So you can't actually block. Sure. I can kill that, and you've already attacked. Yay, game 3. Okay, so I see what they're playing. I don't think I make any changes. I don't. Yeah, I'm not. I'm still not sure about Wildgrowth Walker. I feel like it's possibly like an actually good card in this matchup, but I'm not entirely sure. Duress again is potentially fine, but I'm not even sure what I would take out. Like I could take out like Knight of Autumns for the walkers, but I think I'm just gonna run it back. Sideboarding is hard. Give me a good opening hand, please. This is a bad opening hand. This is not what I wanted. Why are you giving me friggin' single lands? Opponent mulliganed. I am so sad. My opponent didn't mulligan again. I have to, right? Like, sure. I'm offended by this, but sure. Well, at least they put it on the bottom. This has to go to the bottom. I need, like, actual, like, better value than that, which sounds stupid. I guess they're going to opt at the end of my turn. Technically, I should have let off with that. I don't think it's going to matter. Yep. I will be able to Jadelight on 3 and on 4. But we don't have any answers here. We're not... I guess we are Sway. Yeah, we don't have any answers because we're Sway. See, I mulliganed to a keepable hand. My opponent was greedy. I mean, even that might be enough. Just enough time for me to stabilize in the game. Because I have an answer to... you know what? I'm keeping it on top. I have 5 lands. It's going to be relatively easy to get the 6th. My opponent's drawn in, but I can potentially handle this. I have a Contempt to kill any pesky actual creatures. They discarded a land? I guess they just have been drawing lands now. Sure. Still gonna, I think I'm still gonna Jadelight here, instead of holding up the Contempt. Especially since my opponent put a Beacon Bolt into the yard. I want to make sure I can still, like, attack with stuff. I mean, I, like, have to keep that. There's just so much value. And I don't think my opponent has counterspells. Or if they do, it's very few. My opponent can pay 2 mana and discard a card for Beacon Bolt on one of my cards, on one of my creatures, which is, looks like is what they're doing. We're in an okay spot. Yep. Should have hit the untapped one because they could have then attacked and I'm blocking that. I do not care if my Jadelight dies. So if they did this for Chart, of course, they could have saved their card. I mean, if they did it to shock, I guess. I don't think it was a great play. I don't need to cast the Chupacabra here. I'll pass the turn. I have a Vraska Contempt. Sure, I'm going to Contempt this end of turn. Am I? Yes, and the reason I'm going to do this is if I do draw land, I want to be able to cast Vraska immediately. And I drew a land, and I'm absolutely going to pay 2 for this. And you got 1, and I'm going to take over the game. Ahaha! Now, if they resolve any single creature, as long as they don't give it haste, it's going to die. Hey, look, it's a Crackling Drake. I mean, they still only have 1 mana open. Okay, they have 2. They could counter my Chupacabra. I mean, I'll play the land. I don't care. I'll cast the Chupacabra. See if I'm allowed to kill Drake. Looks like I am. It's very nice. I did this first because I don't want to, like, use my Vraska for nothing, essentially. What's our ult? Oh, we're ult at 10? Cool. Yeah, I think this is a dead opponent.
Crew, attack at will.
I can kill that. Or I can just put you to 1. If you have a shock, you should use it on Vraska. Alright, you are dead. I put you to 1. And you die. That's nice. That's real nice. That's satisfying. So I really do like Militia Bugler in this style of deck. I'm not sure about all the numbers. If you have any suggestions for this this Abzan deck, it is my favorite color combination to play, and I want to make it really competitive. I want this like to be my like actual deck. So if you have any suggestions on what you think I should do with the deck, let me know. I'm going to open some packs. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm actually going to open Corset and Dom. I've opened so much guilds that I feel like I'm just like wasting my rares. They're like all... Why? You've betrayed me. I was just talking about that. Like, that's all of my Guild of Ravnica packs right now, essentially. So, I have a bunch of decks that I want to build. I'm actually going to show... I really want to build this Jund Aristocrats deck. It's just a sacrifice deck. It's just fun. Grixis Dragons, you know, Angels, Esper Control, a bunch of decks I want to play. Feel free, if you have any ideas of what you would like to see, just throw them out in the comments if I'm able to. If it's something that I think I would like doing, I would probably play it. I'd like to thank Easymo, Dizzyfam, Radberry, Kyoshin, Ox, Daniel, Flowerchild, Zoraga, and Madka's Bad for their wonderful support on Patreon. Their support allows me to play all these wide decks. If you'd like to join them and support the channel, you'll find links to that in the description below. I really do hope you enjoyed this. I love this deck and this style of gameplay. If you did, go and tap that like button, add a subscription to your mana pool, and cast a comment to the comment section down below. And until next time, all will be one.